In ancient scriptures, Enoch emerges as a singular figure whose closeness to God transcends the ordinary. The term intimacy might seem modest, yet it carries profound significance, symbolizing not just proximity, but also sincere companionship and deep affinity. Throughout the Bible, many souls found this intimate connection with the Lord, even before the Holy Spirit was given to empower people to follow the divine will. Enoch's story in Genesis is a remarkable example of such deep communion. Jared, who lived 162 years before fathering Enoch, continued to live for another 800 years, during which he had other children. At 65, Enoch became the father of Methuselah and then walked with God for 300 years, fathering more sons and daughters. His 365 years on earth culminated in an extraordinary divine communion, where God took him. Genesis 5:18-24. Enoch's story demonstrates a level of divine communion that transcends earthly existence, rewarding genuine closeness with supernatural experiences. The scriptures offer additional insights into Enoch's unique relationship with God. Hebrews 11 verse 5 reveals that by faith Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death and was not found because God had taken him. This verse underscores Enoch's faith, which pleased God. Jude 14:15 adds that Enoch, seventh from Adam, prophesied the Lord's return with thousands of saints to execute judgment on the ungodly. Enoch's unwavering faith resonates through the Bible, similar to Abraham's faith on Mount Moriah and Elijah's journey to heaven in a fiery chariot. Enoch's story illustrates that anyone willing to pay the price can experience a transcendent journey with God, as God shows no partiality. Intimacy with God involves a daily acknowledgement of His nature, unwavering belief in His promises, and solid faith in His word. Hebrews 11:6 emphasizes that without faith it is impossible to please Him. Following God requires determination, even in the face of more attractive alternatives. Psalm 63 1-2-8 speaks of a passionate pursuit of God. My soul thirsts for you. My soul follows close behind you. Enoch's life, marked by this profound walk with God, culminated in an extraordinary encounter, making him the first to experience a kind of rapture. This is affirmed in 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9, which declares, "Eye has not seen nor ear heard the things which God has prepared for those who love Him." Furthermore, intimacy with God reveals deep truths about His nature. Daniel's example illustrates this when God revealed a secret to him in a night vision. Daniel 2:17-20. Psalm 25:14 assures us that the secret of the Lord is with those who fear Him. Close communion with God grants us insights into His plans, privilege for those who revere Him. This intimacy empowers us to anticipate and thwart the enemy's schemes, offering joy to God, as Zephaniah 3:17 states, "The Lord your God in your midst will rejoice over you, gladness." God desires communion with us, which is essential for our potential to flourish. Jesus expressed this in John 15:4-5, "Abide in me, and I in you, for without me you can do nothing." Pursuing intimacy with God elevates us above human limitations, grounding our achievements in divine union. This profound communion was first exemplified in the Garden of Eden, where God walked with Adam and Eve. Genesis 3:8. Despite human frailties, living in God's presence brings Him pleasure, as Revelation 4:11 proclaims, "You are worthy, O Lord, for you created all things." Job 38:1-7 invites us to marvel at God's creation, reminding us of our limited understanding before His vastness. Intimacy with God is an invitation to seek deeper knowledge of His majesty. Our pursuit of this intimacy fulfills our highest purpose and satisfies God's desire for communion with us. This longing for divine intimacy echoes within every human heart, even when unrecognized. In a small village nestled among rolling hills, there was a humble man named Amos, known for his profound faith and unshakable trust in God. Amos lived a simple life as a shepherd, tending to his flock with care and dedication. His days were spent in quiet reflection, often looking up to the heavens and speaking to God as if He were a close friend. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a beautiful shade of twilight, Amos felt a divine presence. He fell to his knees in awe, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and love. It was in that moment that he heard a gentle whisper in his heart, calling him to embark on a journey to spread God's love and wisdom to those who had lost hope. Driven by this divine calling, Amos left his flock in the care of a trusted friend and set out on a pilgrimage. His journey took him through many towns and villages, where he shared the message of God's love, healing the sick, comforting the weary, and bringing hope to the hopeless. People were drawn to his words and his unwavering faith, finding solace and strength in his presence. One night while resting under the stars, Amos had a vision. He saw a grand tapestry woven with threads of light, each thread representing a life touched by his journey. The tapestry was incomplete, with many threads still waiting to be woven in. He understood that his journey was far from over, and that every act of kindness, every word of hope, was a thread in the divine tapestry. Years passed, and Amos's fame spread far and wide. He became a beacon of light in a dark world, reminding everyone of the power of faith and the beauty of an intimate relationship with God. Despite the hardships he faced, his faith never wavered. He knew that God walked with him every step of the way, just as he had with Enoch, Abraham, and Elijah. As Amos grew older, he felt his time on earth drawing to a close. One final time, he returned to his village, where he found his flock waiting for him. With tears of joy, he knelt and thanked God for the incredible journey. Surrounded by loved ones, Amos peacefully passed away, leaving behind a legacy of faith and love. In the days that followed, the villagers discovered a small, well-worn journal among Amos's belongings. It was filled with his reflections, prayers, and visions. One entry stood out. Intimacy with God is a journey of unwavering faith, a path that transcends time and space. It is in the quiet moments, the acts of kindness, and the deep communion with the divine that we find our true purpose. Inspired by Amos's life, the villagers continued his mission, spreading love, hope, and faith far and wide. The divine tapestry grew ever more beautiful, each thread a testament to the power of an intimate relationship with God. And so Amos's story lived on, a reminder that true intimacy with the divine is a journey that shapes and transforms our lives, bringing us closer to God and to one another. Lesson: the power of quiet faith in a noisy world. The story of Amos, a humble shepherd who became a beacon of hope through his quiet faith and intimate relationship with God, offers us profound insights into living a meaningful life in a world often overwhelmed by noise and distraction. In a time when society constantly demands attention, the life of Amos reminds us of the transformative power of quiet faith, steady devotion, and unwavering trust in God's plan. The value of simplicity and humility. Amos's life begins in the simplicity of a small village, where his days are spent tending to his flock. In today's fast-paced world, where success is often measured by wealth, status, and power, Amos's humble beginnings challenge us to reconsider what truly matters. His life as a shepherd, marked by care and dedication to his flock, illustrates the value of simplicity. He finds contentment not in material wealth or recognition, but in the quiet moments of reflection and communion with God. This simplicity is not a sign of weakness or lack of ambition. Rather, it is a testament to the strength found in humility. Amos's humility allows him to remain open to God's presence, ready to listen when the divine whisper calls him to a greater purpose. His willingness to leave behind the comfort of his familiar surroundings and embark on a journey of faith speaks to the power of humility in following God's will. In our own lives, embracing simplicity and humility can lead to a deeper understanding of our purpose. By stripping away the distractions of modern life, we can focus on what truly matters: our relationship with God, our connection to others, and our inner peace. Amos teaches us that it is not the grandeur of our achievements, but the sincerity of our faith and the humility of our hearts that bring us closer to God. Strength of quiet faith. One of the most striking aspects of Amos's story is his quiet faith. Unlike the dramatic displays of faith seen in other biblical figures, Amos's faith is subtle yet powerful. It is the kind of faith that does not seek attention or recognition, but remains steadfast and true in the face of life's challenges. This quiet faith is a beacon of light in a world where loud voices often drown out the still small voice of God. Amos's journey is not without hardships. He faces challenges and obstacles as he travels from village to village, spreading the message of God's love. Yet, through it all, his faith never wavers. He trusts in God's plan, even when the path is unclear. This unwavering faith is what sustains him, giving him the strength to continue his mission despite the difficulties he encounters. In our own lives, we too face challenges that test our faith. The noise of the world can make it difficult to hear God's voice, leading us to doubt or lose our way. However, Amos's story encourages us to cultivate a quiet faith that remains strong in the face of adversity. It reminds us that faith does not need to be loud or ostentatious to be powerful. Faith that is quiet, steady, and unwavering can move mountains and transform lives. The importance of listening to God's voice. Amos's life is marked by his deep communion with God. He spends his days in quiet reflection, speaking to God as if he were a close friend. This intimate relationship with the divine is what guides Amos on his journey and allows him to fulfill his calling. It is through listening to God's voice that Amos finds his purpose and direction in life. In today's world, where distractions are everywhere, listening to God's voice can be challenging. The constant barrage of information, noise, and demands on our time can make it difficult to hear the still, small voice of God. However, Amos's story reminds us of the importance of setting aside time for quiet reflection and prayer. It is in these moments of stillness that we can tune out the noise of the world and listen to what God is saying to us. By cultivating a practice of regular prayer and reflection, we open ourselves up to divine guidance. Like Amos, we may find that God's voice leads us to unexpected places and calls us to fulfill a purpose we had not previously imagined. Listening to God's voice requires patience, humility, and a willingness to follow where He leads, even when the path is uncertain. The ripple effect of a life of faith. Amos's journey not only transforms his own life, but also touches the lives of countless others. The divine tapestry he envisions, woven with threads of light, symbolizes the impact of his faith on the world around him. Each act of kindness, each word of hope, is a thread in this tapestry, contributing to a greater whole. This ripple effect of faith is a powerful reminder that our actions, no matter how small, can have a lasting impact on others. Amos's life shows us that when we live in alignment with God's will, our faith becomes a source of light and hope for those around us. Even in our everyday interactions, we have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others by sharing God's love and compassion. In a world that often prioritizes individual success and self-interest, Amos's story challenges us to think beyond ourselves and consider how our faith can contribute to the greater good. By living a life of quiet faith, humility, and service, we can create a ripple effect that touches the lives of others, and brings us closer to the realization of God's kingdom. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of Amos's faith. Amos's story is a testament to the power of a life lived in quiet faith and intimate relationship with God. His journey, marked by humility, unwavering trust in God, and a commitment to spreading love and hope, offers us valuable lessons for navigating the complexities of modern life. In a noisy world that often demands our attention and distracts us from what truly matters, Amos's life serves as a reminder that true fulfillment comes from living in alignment with God's will. By embracing simplicity, cultivating quiet faith, listening to God's voice, and considering the impact of our actions on others, we can follow in Amos's footsteps and contribute to a more compassionate, just, and loving world. Amos's legacy lives on, not in grand achievements of this world, but in the hearts and lives of those he touched. His story encourages us to pursue a deeper relationship with God and to live a life of purpose, guided by faith and love. In doing so, we too can leave behind a legacy that reflects the beauty of a life lived in communion with the divine.